What's going on, guys? It's ZNX Nick back with another video, and today's video is gonna be my settings, my button layout, and all my settings that I use. So let's get right into it.
And I ain't really going far. Bitch, I'll take you to the moon and the stars. Yeah, hop up in my coupe, y'all. What's up? What's up? Do you wanna go far with me?
First of all, the controls. I don't recommend using simple mode unless you're a beginner or like new to first-person shooters or Call of Duty or mobile games. Other than that, I would recommend advanced mode. And even if you're a beginner, I only recommend using simple mode just to get used to the game and the flow of how things are. And then I would switch over to advanced mode once you get comfortable. The difference between it is simple mode just has like a lock on target, and once you aim at them for long enough, then it will start shooting for you. Versus advanced mode, you click a button on the screen and it will aim in and shoot at the same time for you. Or you could, if you play claw, or if you would like to play claw, then you can change this around to where you press one button to aim and press the other button to shoot. So advanced mode is definitely, a better mode. It gives you more freedom, more control over what you're doing. So yeah, that's what I'd use. Alright, for the basic settings, aim assist, I have that on. Quick run from prone, on. Fixed right fire button, on. Fixed virtual joystick display position, I have that off. Fast throw grenade, I recommend you keep that off. Joystick auto sprint, what this pretty much means is, I have it on, but what it means is when you put the joystick up a certain amount, instead of just putting it up a little bit, if you put it up a lot, it'll start sprinting for you. So I recommend putting that on unless you just don't want to sprint at all. And then fixed joystick, I recommend keeping that off. Right fire button for fixed perspective, I recommend keeping that off. ADS, I have tap to ADS. Display left fire button, that's on. Slide while running, I highly recommend you choose tap crouch while sprinting instead of hold crouch while sprinting. And then always sprint. The always sprint option is very good for people who like to play fast paced and aggressive, because then even if you put it up only a little bit, it'll start sprinting. Always sprint, you'll always sprint, you're not gonna walk. So either any direction you move your finger, you're gonna be sprinting. Versus the joystick auto sprint, you move it up a little bit, you'll start like walking. For my sensitivity, this is preference, mine is on 65. Gyroscope, I don't use it, but what it is where you can aim from tilting your device a certain way. So you tilt it and it will aim for you based on that. And then camera field of view, I definitely recommend putting that all the way up to 75 if it isn't already. Weapon aim, reset weapon aim, I would recommend keeping that off. For my audio and graphics, now this is where things get a little complicated, but not too bad. So I have mine on medium, even though I can run it on very high. I run my graphic quality on medium and my frame rate on max. The reason why I do this is because medium, if you have your graphic quality on medium, your game will run a lot smoother, it'll prevent overheating, and it will conserve your power. And frame rate, you always want that to be as high as it can go. And you could do low graphic quality, but I just prefer medium. Medium's just like that sweet spot for me. You could have it on high, you could have it on very high, but if it's on very high, it could make you lag a little bit, lose a couple frames, it could overheat your phone or your iPad, and it's gonna cost more power, of course. So I just keep mine on medium, frame rate on max. Why I keep my frame rate on max, or the highest it can go for you, is because if someone's on a low frame rate and you're on a max frame rate, then you'll have a big advantage because you'll see them first and you'll be able to start shooting them first. So I keep mine on max, and you should keep it as high as you can. Depth of field, I definitely recommend keeping that on. Real-time shadows, I keep that on. You can keep it on or off. These other ones are grayed out because I don't have my graphics on very high or high. Keep them on medium, so I only worry about the depth of field and real-time shadows. But if you want to play on high or very high, then you could mess around with the ragdoll, anti-aliasing, and bloom effects. Battle Royale mode, graphic style, whichever one you think looks the nicest, I would just choose that. I like dynamic personally. And then adjust screen, you usually don't have to worry about that unless you're playing on a 16:9 screen, which most of us aren't. For our sensitivity, all preference, but I do recommend you put on speed acceleration for your rotation mode, and acceleration value, I keep mine on 160, but you should probably have it on 120 to 180. Sensitivity switch, pretty much what this is when you're running and you aim down sight, it switches your sensitivity from your normal sensitivity to your aim down sight sensitivity. I keep mine on switch while opening ADS. So, but you can play around with them. If something doesn't feel right, I would probably play around with these sensitivity presets. I keep mine on mid, and then all this stuff is preference. If you're gonna copy me, I recommend you don't copy me, but if you are, make sure you feel comfortable with it and try to find something that works best for you. And then everything else, I don't really play Battle Royale, I don't use controller. Quick message, you can really put any of the commands you want on. I just keep mine to default. And then what you guys are really here for, my button layout, my controls. I play 3-finger claw, so let's get into it. This is my button layout. As you can see, on my left side it's kind of crowded because my left index finger is the one that I use to play 3-finger claw with. So I use my left index finger for crouching, sliding, slide jumping, and jumping, throwing grenades, changing grenades, hip firing, switching weapons, and picking up weapons. So my index finger on my left hand definitely has a big role in how I play. It affects my movement, it affects my grenades and my picking up weapons and switching weapons. And then my left thumb focuses on moving my player left, right, forward, backward, diagonal, and then sprinting. I have auto sprint on, so I just put that all the way up. And then in the middle here, you can see I have my plant bomb. It's on scale 200%, just so if I do have to make that quick plant, I'm able to. I don't have to click a little button, I'm just click it real big. And then you guys are probably confused about this little thing in the middle of my screen, so let me explain myself. This actually is the aim down sight mode, where you click this button and it will aim down sights for you. So I make it the smallest it can, I put it in the middle of the screen, and I make it full brightness. And what it does is, if you run iron sights or even a red dot sight, it'll pretty much give you a red dot sight, because when you aim down sight, it turns red, and it's so small that it looks like a red dot sight. Pretty much turns a iron sight into a red dot sight. And also it lets you know at all times where the center of your screen is. So if you have to quick aim at someone, you know where to aim. Your center of screen is right there, that's where you're gonna aim in at. So it's especially good for snipers as well, if you're not playing 4-finger claw. If you're playing 3-finger or 2-finger, I recommend this, but it's not for everyone, so test it out if you want. And then for my right thumb is responsible for shooting, aiming, reloading, and calling in score streaks. And then my right index finger, which is pretty much not used at all, is for my specialist. And then all these grenades, chats, volume, settings, emotes, all that good stuff, ping, minimap. And then also, one thing I forgot to mention is that I keep my scoreboard, I keep it kind of bigger than most people like it, because I like to click on it, see what I'm going, my KD, and I like to see what my teammates are going. I like to see if we're winning or losing, be able to see it with ease. Also, I'm on an iPad, so I can have it a little bit bigger, but if you're on a phone, I would keep it a little bit smaller. And then for my mini-map, I keep it a little bit bigger, not too much bigger, and I keep it right up in the right corner. That's pretty much my button layout. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm see you next Nick. Drop a like if you liked it. If you're new, subscribe, and peace. I'm out.
About me, if I fuck you don't tell. Rockin' that flashin' from over the pill. Might just move out to LA, no hotel. I be in the stew sometimes, I don't sleep well. Any nigga fuck my bitch, you can keep it. I don't really like the beef, but I ain't backing down for no smoke, nigga, I'm a beater. I stay ready, no, I never prepare. Smoke so much, nigga, I don't breathe.